Good morning. My name is Raj Singh, and I'm an extension plant pathologist with LSU Ag Center. This morning, I'm going to introduce you to a so-called new disease of industrial hemp that we have detected this year, especially when you're growing those plants in a container under a protective covering such as a greenhouse or a hothouse, something like that. So you will have a perfectly planned industrial hemp plant just looking like this, but then you will notice that there are some branches that you see in this plant that kind of wilting and dying back. So what we have discovered that there is a fungal pathogen that is causing this dieback, and it can start on your smaller twigs or on the main stem of the plant. We know what the fungal pathogen is, but we are still trying to do a pathogenicity test so that we can reproduce those symptoms. But when we have sequenced that pathogen, and the name of the pathogen is called Lasiodiplodia pseudotheobrome. It's a long name, but the name of the disease is called stem dieback. So again, the symptoms, it will start wilting randomly in the canopy, and then you will see the twig dying back and going to the main stem. Now, like I said, it can start anywhere on the plant. You can have those smaller twigs affected, and then you can also have the disease starting on the main stem of the plant. So this is initial symptoms, and you can see some of the branches here showing the dieback symptoms, starting with the wilting and then dieback symptoms. In a couple of weeks, you will see more and more twigs dying back and wilting. See, the entire plant looks like dead. Okay. After some time, if you have a good hand lens, you can look at the stem and you will see very small black specks, and those are the fruiting bodies of the fungus that will produce more cnidia or spores. And if you have an overhead sprinkler irrigation, once those spores are produced, they are going to splash by that irrigation water, or if they are outside, the wind splashed rain can also transfer those spores from infected to healthy plants. When we talk about this disease, we have seen the similar organism causing stem dieback or twig dieback on some of your woody fruit trees or your ornamentals. The pathogen works similarly. We know it will colonize through wounds or injuries on the plant. So if your plants are tall and they are kind of moving in the wind, that friction can cause some kind of injury, and there could be an entry point for the pathogen to enter the plant system. Once it's in the plant system, it will colonize the plant and will kill the whole plant. So in your background, you can see there are a lot of plants that died because of this new disease that we have here in Louisiana. So far, this disease has only been reported, well, we haven't reported it yet. We are still working on it to confirm the disease, but I have not seen any other reports from any other hemp growing states in the US. Because this is a newly detected disease here in Louisiana on industrial hemp, the only culture control method that we have in order to spread the disease from spreading from infected to healthy plants is, once you start seeing something like a random dieback or wilted stem or a twig in your plants, you want to isolate it or remove it from your production system and maybe discard it, because if you keep it in your production system, then the pathogen is going to spread from infected to healthy plants. Now, disease is favored by hot and humid weather, which is very common here in Louisiana. The second disease I'm going to discuss with you all is a soil-borne pathogen, and it causes the roots and the crown of the industrial hemp plant to rot, and then the whole plant will die. As you can see in the patch over here, you have several dead plants. The pathogen is well known. It's one of those oomycetes, which is also called a water mold pathogen. And also you can see there's a lot of water standing in these rows, and that can be a predisposing factor or contributing factor for the pathogen to cause infection on your stressed out plants. The pathogen can move with irrigation water. It can also move with, if you are removing the soil from one piece of the land to the other piece of land, so that can also move it. It can also move with the plants. Once the infection started, the roots will rot and the crown will rot and will girdle the crown area, and then it will kill the whole plant. You can see some plants are dead and some plants are still living, but eventually what will happen, it will spread to rest of the plants and they will all die. In order to diagnose the problem, if you pull out or dig out one of those dying plants, not completely dead plants, but one that's showing wilting and is in the process of dying, if you dig it up, and if you look at the roots, you will see the roots are sloughing off. That's one of the diagnostic feature for soil-borne umai seeds that will cause the sloughing of the roots. And then if you have a pocket knife, you can scrape some of the bark off of the crown area and you will see how rotted or brown that looks. That also tells you that it is a soil-borne pathogen that's causing the death of that plant.